In the contemporary landscape of technology and media, the concept of free will is facing an existential crisis. While humans have historically prided themselves on their capacity for choice and autonomy, an undercurrent of manipulative forces threatens to erode these fundamental liberties. From the ethereal algorithms that drive artificial intelligence to the overt and covert messages embedded in propaganda and media, the assault on human agency is multifaceted. This video will examine the effects subliminal messaging, or sometimes called hidden messaging, has on the erosion of free will and how the media can herd us like sheep. In this video, I have embedded 10 subliminal messages, all with the positive and healthy purpose of lifting your spirits. If I reach 200 subscribers to my channel, Z Standing Ready, I will re-release this video again in its entirety, revealing the 10 hidden messages. Subliminal messages have been employed for decades, especially in advertising, but their ubiquity and sophistication have increased exponentially in the digital age. These messages, often operating below the threshold of conscious awareness, are designed to evoke an emotional response, thereby affecting decision-making in a way that sidesteps rational thought. It is believed that only 5% of our brain is employed in conscious thought or awareness, and that the other 95% is used at the unconscious level. Also, it is generally believed that a person's feelings originate in the unconscious portion of the mind. Subliminal are largely directed to affect our decision-making process based on our feelings that covertly condition or fool the human mind into making choices that it believes are voluntary. The importance of this concept cannot be oversimplified. Because of unconscious actions on our part, the notion that we are masters of our own fate is only slightly true. In a world saturated with media, be it television commercials, billboards, social media ads, or music videos, the avenues for communication have multiplied, but so have the complexities involved in how the messages are disseminated and received. One fascinating, and at times controversial, dimension of this landscape is the realm of subliminal messages. They are signals or pieces of information embedded within the media that are designed to pass below the normal limits of human perception. They are virtually invisible or inaudible to the conscious mind, but perceived by the subconscious. While the concept is often cloaked in a veil of mystery and frequently associated with manipulative intent, these messages are far more nuanced subject matter deriving of a comprehensive analysis. To many, this form of messaging may evoke scenes from dystopian novels or spy films where individuals are unwittingly controlled to execute actions against their will. The reality is less theatrical, but still compelling. Industries ranging from advertising and marketing, each with varying degrees of efficacy and ethical considerations. The question of whether hidden messages actually work is a topic of heated debate within the scientific community, further muddled by a cacophony of claims from popular culture and conspiracy theorists. But let's not forget, many debates in the recent past have been labeled as conspiracy theory, only to be proven true and factual and not a conspiracy theory at all, when more information and/or the truth was revealed. On one hand, studies have shown that disguised cues can influence human behavior in subtle ways, such as improving mood or increasing the likelihood of choosing a particular product. So here's a study that shows that subliminal messaging is increasingly effective and perceived by the human subconscious. The research on the effectiveness of this form of messaging is mixed, with many studies suggesting a modest influence on behavior or perception. So when and where are these covert messages used? Subliminal messages are effective when they are goal relevant. One study used thirsty participants and found that messaging was effective in making them choose a particular type of beverage. Another study investigated whether subliminal priming of a brand name of a drink would affect a person's choice of drink, and whether this effect is moderated by feelings of thirst. They found that priming a brand name did indeed influence choice, but only for participants who were already thirsty. This makes sense. A study by Simmons, Pecker, and Mostofsky in 2008, employing neuroimaging techniques, showed that disguised messages could activate certain areas of the brain, even if the individual wasn't conscious of the stimuli. This is only a small sampling of the known research that has been done on this topic, with many more studies undertaking suggesting their effectiveness designed at behavior. There is much study and research going on in our advertising agencies to further manipulate and force desired behaviors. It is said that the marketing executives on Madison Avenue are the de facto experts on human behavior and conditioning. The legal framework surrounding the use of subliminal messages are at best vague, varying greatly from one jurisdiction to another, often ripe with loopholes that make regulation a Herculean task. But legal or not, this is how the particular form of messaging has been employed in the past. Recent studies, while taking place, are not generally shared with anyone outside the marketing and advertising industry. One simple example of this type of messages is the case of Coca-Cola and popcorn. This is the most famous case because it was the first to reveal the implementation of subliminal messages. The case is an old case, a 1957 movie theater experiment where phrases like drink Coca-Cola and eat popcorn were flashed for a fraction of a second during a film. The results claimed a significant increase in Coca-Cola and popcorn sales. Also, Disney movies have often been scrutinized for hidden messages, from sexual innuendos to social ideas. Some researchers have claimed that tobacco and alcohol ads have used subliminal tactics, such as hiding images or words within the larger picture, the picture of their brand, to entice consumers subconsciously. Then there are examples where these messages are used in political advertising. The infamous rats ad from the 2000 U.S. presidential campaign showed the word rats for a fraction of a second while criticizing an opponent. Once discovered, the ad was quickly pulled. Some anti-smoking and anti-drug campaigns have been suspected of using subconscious messages to discourage unhealthy behaviors. Although this is generally considered to be ethically questionable, even when used to promote a positive outcome. And though not subconscious in the traditional sense, algorithms used by platforms like Facebook or YouTube are designed to keep users engaged, subtly influencing their behavior over time. This is often referred to as persuasive technology, a close cousin to subliminal messaging. In addition, there have been allegations that certain video games use hidden messages to keep players hooked and engaged in the game. Combined, all these covert communication methods are eroding our capacity for free will and to be masters of our own destinies. So while the topic of subliminal messages continues to fascinate people, it is crucial to approach it with a critical mindset, distinguishing between scientifically proven cases and popular myths. The ethical dimension also makes it a controversial subject that is subject to legal scrutiny in many jurisdictions. This method of messaging is a topic often mired in controversy and speculation. While it's easy to drift in sensational claims about mind control and dark governmental plots, the evidence suggests that it is a subtler, albeit pervasive force. It operates not so much as a switch that controls our actions, but more as a nudge that inclines us towards a certain choice over others. The real power of subliminal messages lies not in their ability to make us do something entirely against our wills, but rather in their capacity to shape and guide our preferences without us being fully conscious of the effects on us. In essence, we are being led, much like sheep, but the shepherd is less a sinister puppet master and more a complex interplay of advertising techniques, social norms, and media influences. The real power of subliminal messages lies not in their ability to make us do something entirely against our will, but rather in their capacity to shape and guide our preferences without us being fully conscious of the effects on us. In essence, we are being led much like sheep, but the shepherd is less a sinister puppet master and more a complex interplay of advertising techniques, social norms, and media influences. We need to wake up. The path we are on is not acceptable. We need to become aware of manipulative advertising and hidden messages and resist their efforts to distort our free will. They don't want you to think too much. If you don't control your mind, someone else will.